How close is Pakistan and China's military cooperation? After much speculation, Pakistan has finally confirmed that it has acquired Chinese J-10C Firebird fighter jets in time for the Pakistan Day parade in late March. The Royal United Services Institute airspace analyst Justin Bronk describes the J-10C as a potent, modern, multi-role light fighter, which represents a rough Chinese equivalent to a modern F-16. Pakistan's Interior Minister Rashid Ahmed has also added that the 25 aircraft are to counter India's French Rafale jets. India has agreed to buy 36 Rafale fighter jets in 2015 to revamp its old air fleet, even though the purchase was delayed by allegations of corruption. By the end of 2021, 32 of the jets had been delivered. Pakistan and India have been involved in a number of disputes since they both gained independence from Britain in 1947. Mostly revolving around the status of Kashmir. They have fought multiple wars with ongoing border skirmishes, sustaining much of the tension. Right now, Pakistan is in the process of expanding its military capacity. And even though it may never have a large military like India's, it is trying to match it technologically. It's also important to note that the two nations have similar nuclear arsenals. But Islamabad is also trying to increase its military might by making its own fighter jet, the JF-17 Thunder. And guess who's helping?
This project was headed by one of the most prestigious fighter designers in China, and that was Yang Wi. In the JF-17, the type of aircraft it is good for is air interceptions, ground attack, and of course reconnaissance. In China, it's not called this, it's called the FC-1 Zhailong, meaning Fighter China 1 Fierce Dragon.
And it's not just weapons. Here are some other ways that point to a strong bond between these countries.
Beijing is building the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which would see a total investment of $62 billion. This network of railways, roads, and pipelines would connect Pakistan and China, building coal, solar, and hydro projects along the way. But this relationship goes beyond economic policies. Mandarin classes are now compulsory in some Pakistani schools. Ethnic Chinese actors are now seen in popular media, including food advertisements. And websites and newspapers in Mandarin are gaining in popularity.
Both Chinese President Xi Jinping and Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan have said that the two countries are so-called Iron Brothers. Let's explore some of the reasons why China is a strong ally of Pakistan, knowing that this gives Islamabad a strategic edge over New Delhi. China and India have their fair share of problems, and we saw one of them erupt in 2020. As the world's two most populous countries, they were locked in a tense border standoff for months high up in the Himalayas, with troops from the two nuclear rivals coming to blows.
We know something happened in the mountains of disputed Kashmir. No shots were fired, but soldiers clashed and died. There are claims brutal, basic weapons were used. Two nuclear powers were in hand-to-hand combat, and both blame the other.
The situation there still remains sensitive. Neither side is taking this rivalry lightly. As for Pakistan, it sees eye to eye with China on many issues. British author Andrew Small has dubbed the phrase the China-Pakistan Axis. It's a semi-alliance that works to shape Asia's geopolitical future, confronting everything from India's rise to nuclear terrorism and most recently, a post-American Afghanistan. In the aftermath of the US exit and the Taliban takeover, Afghanistan's immediate future seems to be tied with its immediate neighbors. If Afghanistan implodes, Pakistan and China will likely be among the first ones to suffer. And even if it be for their own strategic gains, it's only fitting that they would want to be the first to offer help. But perhaps more importantly, they're on the same page about Afghanistan. Let's get back to the military relationship though. Of course, Pakistan also has other reasons for wanting Chinese military equipment. It faces many sanctions from the US, and despite having purchased American F-16s, at times it has trouble operating them due to restrictions, whereas Chinese weapons usually come with no strings attached. China is a close ally of Pakistan. One of the main reasons pushing these countries closer together is the clash between Beijing and New Delhi across South Asia. As Asia's two major powers, they're competing to secure their political and economic interests in the strategically vital region. But with similar foreign policy objectives, Pakistan remains an important regional partner to China. And looking ahead, it looks like this partnership will only strengthen on the military front.